Dr. King had a dream. Yes, he did. Dr. King had a dream. Indeed, he did. Dr. King, he prayed, he cried, he marched that one day all people will live unafraid with equal rights and justice under the law, having love for one another. Today, I come as one, standing in the spirit of Mega Wiley Evans, Melly Evans, James Meredith, Mamie Till Mobley, my grandmother, Mary Malone, and all beloved Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. to share on the life, the legacy, and how we can keep Dr. King's dream alive. Good afternoon to Dr. Bennett, Vice President of Student Affairs, faculty, staff, student body, elected officials, the community of Cleveland, Mississippi. Thank you guys for having me today, and special thanks to the Office of Student Affairs for the invitation today. I want to start off this morning by sharing a story of my grandmother, the late Mary Malone. She shared a story of me during the civil rights movement of my great aunt who would march with Dr. King, and her name was Aunt Lucy. I remember my grandmother sitting me down, sharing the stories of Dr. King and how things were in her day. I recall her telling me a story of my Aunt Lucy, who she said Aunt Lucy was called to the front lines. She fought alongside Dr. King during his visit to Tuvalu College. I remember her telling the story of how my Aunt Lucy would gather people together in Fayette, Mississippi to go up to Tuvalu College to march with Dr. King. I remember my grandmother said, Duvalier, some were afraid to be on the front lines to fight for justice. She said some stayed home in our local churches behind, and they prayed and they organized. She said, but many traveled with Aunt Lucy to Tuvalu to march with Dr. King. She said, but you see, son, whether they were on the front lines fighting with Aunt Lucy, or whether they stayed behind and they prayed or they organized, she said, we all played a vital role in equal rights and justice for all. She said the movement wasn't just about black folks. Dr. King fought for all people to have equal rights and justice under the law. You see, I believe that my grandmother planting those seeds of history within me at the age of 8 helped me on my path today. I recall being around 8 years old when my grandmother would share stories of the civil rights movement, stories of Medgar Evers, stories of Emmett Till, stories of the March on Washington. The more of the story that I'm sharing with you today about my grandmother is that it took the beloved community standing in unity, knowing that we are more alike than we are different, to see Dr. King's dream come alive and stay alive in my generation. So today, I want to take a few moments to talk with you about how we can keep Dr. King's dream alive. The number one way that I believe that my generation and our current generation here can keep Dr. King's dream alive is by bestowing love upon one another. Dr. King stated that darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. So today, I charge you all that when you're faced with darkness and forces that want to take us back in America, to do like Dr. King did, be courageous, speak up and speak out, whether big or small. We need you in order to keep Dr. King's dream alive. You also must take bold steps to initiate change in your community. As I look across this auditorium today, I see the future of the state of Mississippi, and not just the future of the state of Mississippi, but the future of our country. I want to challenge you all, as my grandmother did me, that whether you're on the front lines, marching, protesting,